90% of your life problems are because you're ignoring these 12 lessons. They say life is a classroom, but most of us skip the hardest lessons. Not because we're lazy, not because we don't care, but because some truths are too uncomfortable to face. We pretend not to see them, not to hear them, not to feel them. We bury them under distractions, endless scrolling, shallow conversations, temporary highs, and then we wonder why everything feels off, why happiness slips through our fingers, why the same problems keep showing up with different faces. But what if the chaos, the heartbreaks, the constant sense of not being enough, what if 90% of all that could be traced back to just 12 lessons we've been avoiding? No one teaches them in school. Your parents probably didn't know how to explain them. And society profits from your confusion. So here you are, tired, aching in a way you can't explain, and half aware that something's wrong, but unsure what. These are not magical rules. They're not secrets locked in ancient scrolls. They're lessons. Simple, brutal, essential, and the longer you ignore them, the louder life screams them at you. The first time life whispers, it feels like a nudge, a quiet discomfort, an uneasy feeling. But when you ignore it, it turns into a pattern. The same kind of lover breaking your heart, the same type of friend betraying your trust, the same opportunity slipping away because you weren't ready. At some point, it's no longer bad luck, it's a curriculum, and whether you're aware of it or not, you're enrolled. Lesson 1 is painful because it means you have to stop blaming others. Your childhood, your ex, your boss, your bad luck, they're not responsible for how you choose to respond. It feels good to stay a victim. There's comfort in it, but there's no growth. And the truth is, the day you stop blaming is the day you start living. The second lesson is about silence, the kind you sit in when no one's watching. We're scared of being alone because in that silence, the truth rises. But until you learn to sit with yourself without needing noise, validation, or distraction, you'll never know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, the world will keep telling you what to be. Then comes the third, the lesson of discomfort. Most people design their lives to avoid pain, but nothing real, nothing meaningful, grows in comfort zones. Love, purpose, success, they're born from discomfort. From hard conversations, from tough decisions, from choosing growth over ease. If you're always chasing comfort, you're choosing stagnation in disguise. The fourth lesson might be the hardest to accept. You are not entitled to anything. Not love, not fairness, not recognition. The world doesn't owe you peace or applause. And the minute you stop expecting it, you start earning it. Through effort, through self-respect, through relentless honesty with yourself. The fifth lesson is brutal, because it asks you to give up the idea that people will change because you want them to. People don't change for love. They don't change because you begged or cried or sacrificed. They change when they're ready, and sometimes they never will. Letting go isn't failure, it's wisdom. The sixth lesson is one we hear often but rarely internalize. Discipline is freedom. The more you delay what you know must be done, the heavier your life becomes. You think freedom is doing what you want, when you want. But real freedom is being able to look in the mirror and know you didn't betray yourself. Then there's the seventh. It's about attention. Whatever you give energy to grows. If you feed drama, it multiplies. If you nourish self-pity, it deepens. But if you water your goals, your habits, your boundaries, they flourish. Your life is the result of what you feed daily. Choose wisely. The eighth lesson is quieter but more powerful than most. Not every emotion deserves a response. We think every feeling must be acted on. Every mood must be shared. But maturity means knowing when to sit still, when to let the storm pass, when to feel rage but act with grace. Your power is in your pause. The ninth lesson is deeply personal. Your self-worth is not negotiable. Not in relationships, not at work, not in friendships. If you constantly shrink yourself to fit into rooms that don't see your value, you're not being humble. You're betraying yourself. The people who deserve you won't need you to be smaller. Lesson 10. Hurts because it breaks the illusion that time is infinite. We waste days like they're endless, scrolling, gossiping, doubting. But one day, the people you love will be gone. The chances you hesitated on will have vanished. And all you'll have is a life half-lived. Wake up. Time is the only currency you can't earn back. The 11th is one that shatters most illusions. Love is not enough. Love without respect is chaos. Love without boundaries is control. Love without effort is just fantasy. Don't chase butterflies if they keep flying into flames. Love must be mutual, responsible, and kind. Anything less is not love. It's addiction. And the 12th? It's the lesson that ties all the others together. Your life is your responsibility. No one's coming to rescue you. No magic moment will make it all click. You are the hero and the villain, the sculptor and the clay. And every day you delay ownership, your life drifts further from what it could be. We don't suffer because we're cursed. We suffer because we refuse to graduate. Life keeps handing us the same exam, same lesson, different faces, until we pass. And every ignored lesson returns louder, messier, more painful. The relationship you won't leave. The habit you won't break. The dream you won't chase. They rot, and then they infect everything else. But there's hope. There's always hope. Because the moment you decide to face these lessons, not read them, not memorize them, but live them, everything changes. Not instantly, but profoundly. You start noticing the patterns. You start reclaiming your power. You stop needing approval and start crafting peace. You start replacing excuses with execution, confusion with clarity, chaos with calm, and people will notice. They'll ask what changed. Some will admire it, others will fear it. Because when you start learning what life has been trying to teach you all along, you become unpredictable, unstoppable, unapologetically yourself. You stop chasing love that wounds. You stop settling for half-lives. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You realize it's not about being perfect. It's about being present, aware, awake. And when you're awake, you start seeing through the fog. You start letting go. You start building differently. It's not about being fearless. It's about fearing the right things. Fear wasting your life more than you fear rejection. Fear regret more than failure. Fear dying with your song unsung, your book unwritten, your truth unspoken. Because that's the real tragedy. Not that life is hard, but that we refuse to learn how to live it. Some people live the same year 80 times and call it a life. They run from the same lesson, love the same wrong person, die with the same bitter story. But not you. Not anymore. You didn't come this far just to stay stuck. You didn't endure everything just to repeat it. You're allowed to start over, to grow, to evolve, to say, I was wrong, but now I see. You may not fix everything overnight, but you can decide, right now, that you're done ignoring the lessons that matter, done playing small, done sleeping through your own existence. This is your call. This is your moment. Don't wait for a breakdown to have your breakthrough, because in the end, life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you're brave enough to learn. And if you're ready, truly ready, the next chapter won't be written by chance. It'll be written by you.